in contrast to the heavier songs on the album where they sort of stick out like a sore thumb. And Captagon, which goes back to the post-hardcore sound, but musically, there's a lot more cohesion. It also has this really awesome sort of mathcore-esque breakdown in the middle, followed by this really awesome climax with ascending guitars and lyrics that really seem to paint a statement. Dissolving and Reject All and Submit both continue the album's theme of being awkward and sort of missing the mark, unfortunately. The vocals from Dylan Walker from Full of Heck was a nice surprise, but ultimately they didn't do much to help the track. December 4th, 2024 is slightly better. The instrumental composition here is really underappreciated, with the crushing, slow, post-hardcore riffs that I really love. It's really one of my favorite tracks on this. Audrey's of Guilt is one of the better tracks as well on this album. I love the wall of sound the guitars make. And halfway through the song, I can say the same mostly for the closing track, For Those Who Will Outlive Us. It starts with this really quiet melody on keyboards, which develops into this really nice soundscape. Halfway through, it switches up and goes in a more ominous direction that seems to build towards a dramatic finish, but really it doesn't lead to a very satisfying climax. So that concludes my track-by-track review of this album. As far as my thoughts as a whole, I didn't hate it like a lot of people did that I've gathered based on the online discord surrounding the album. I liked how imaginative it was, and I really liked that the band was going into this bold new direction into post-hardcore, going away from their early Midwest emo years. That and a lot of the instrumentals were really engaging with some unpredictable chord progressions and song melodies. But my complaints with this album really lie in the band's execution. There's not a ton of cohesion here, I feel, and the band seems to try and do too much experimentation with their sound on this record. While that's not a bad thing, you gotta make it sound somewhat coherent. I believe this record isn't all too great at that. My favorite tracks for this, my favorite track is the closing track, For Those Who Outlive Us. And overall, it's not a total stinker, but it could have been better. I give it a 60 out of 100. No Alternative will be back right after this break.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris.
That's my co-host. This is for making the East Coast Pop-Tarts.
It's showtime, Chris. Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No. Spin the wheel. But you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to
Which one to trust?
Welcome back, music lovers and television watchers alike, to No Alternative, the alternative music show, broadcasting out of Oswego. We have reached Block D, D for Deftones. That's right, I'm about to review the brand new Deftones album, Private Music, which is already one of my top 3 albums of the year. So, to start off, let me give you some background on the Deftones for those of you who have to be living under a rock and don't know who they are. They are an alternative metal band hailing from Sacramento, California, and they are currently featuring guitarist Stephen Carpenter, drummer Ave Cunningham, keyboardist Frank Delgado, and the larger-than-life vocalist Chino Moreno. And for this album, they are also joined by their current touring bassist, Fred Sablon. So I'll now give you a very brief rundown on the band's history. Formed all the way back in the late 80s, they signed with Maverick Records, where they gained a critical and commercial following through the release of their first 2 albums, Adrenaline and Around the Fur. In 2000, they released White Pony, which was met with widespread critical acclaim for its genre-bending sound that set it apart from other new metal bands at the time. Following releases, such as their self-titled album and Saturday Night Wrist, saw them further delving into this new shoegazy sound they created. In 2010 and 2012, following the tragic injury and eventual passing of original bassist Chi Cheng, rest in peace, the band dropped Diamond Eyes and Koi no Yoken respectively. I personally consider this era to be the peak of the Deftones' sort of dreamy, shoegazy sound. 2016's Gore and 2020's Ohms saw the band go in a different direction, a more spacey, sonic direction that was still popular among devoted fans, but it certainly divided critics. Getting into the track-by-track review, we start with My Mind is a Mountain, a thunderous opener that automatically inserts Deftones' spot on the throne of alternative metal. The riffs are loud, but not overly aggressive, and Chino Moreno's dynamic vocals ranging from cleans to screams also stand out on here. I also got to give credit to Delgado's synths, which on this track and the record as a whole add an important layer of sonic depth that gives it this magical, mountainous quality. Locked Club sounds very interesting. It doubles down on the heavy riffs with some very bold spoken word lyrics from Chino, but overall, it's not my favorite. The next track, Edyssis, originally didn't land with me, but upon recent listens, I've grown to appreciate it. It's got these really awesome, heavy sort of Stephen Carpenter riffs, but also a really beautiful soundscape from Delgado's synths. Up next is Infinite Source, and if Deftones were to have dropped a 3rd single from this album, then this would be the one. It's less heavy and has more of this dream pop sort of sound, peaking with this infectious chorus with introspective lyrics. Souvenir is not my favorite off the album, but it's still a very enjoyable track. Clocking in at over 6 minutes long, it's the longest track on the album and one of the longer songs in Deftones' discography, largely in part due to the needlessly long ambient outro. Oh man, this sort of made the song feel a little bit tedious and kind of a bore. CXZ snaps the record out of that ambient daze, though, with these really aggressive riffs and the dreamy synth soundscape that we're used to seeing. I Think About You All the Time is a beautiful example of the quiet, soft dynamic that Deftones employs a lot. It starts slow, but then it explodes into these thick guitar layers. But the lyrics here are easily the standout. They're very positive, and I'd say even very uplifting. Like someone with their share of demons finally realizing they found inner peace. All right, Milk of the Madonna. Wow, what an amazing track. This is the second of the 2 singles from the album. It's heavy, fast, aggressive, yet it's still so incredibly ethereal. Chino's lyrics on the song also are really fantastical, and they go with the music to paint this really apocalyptic scenery. The music really reminds me of Swerve City from Koi no Yoken with its upbeat tempo and roaring guitars, but still during that bridge, it has that guitar solo. That's what that track reminds me of. But this track is far better than even that song. I'd say it's one of my top 10 favorite Deftones songs. Cut Hands incorporates the sort of spoken word / rapping delivery from Deftones' early albums. I don't think it really lands with me for this song, to be honest. But on the other hand, Metal Dream is a really beautiful track that opens with basically the same thing, just rhythm and spoken word, before it blasts into a beautiful chorus with this really nice wall of sound. The lyrics here are really romantic and ethereal. I know some people are not as big on this one, but I gotta give it credit because everything here flows very smoothly. Departing the Body has sort of an ambient sort of intro that leads into a quiet guitar melody. With how low Chino's voice is in this opening lyrics, you think you'd be listening to the baritones. Get it? Because baritones and Deftones. But jokes aside, this song is amazing. The chord progressions are simple and beautiful, and the lyrics are still fictitiously powerful as you'd expect. The loud, soft dynamic is also really effectively done here, much like a lot of the other tracks. Talking about the record as a whole, I think it's the best thing Deftones has put out since Koi no Yoken. It's musically diverse, but still concise for the most part. For a band that has more or less had the same sound for the past 25 years, it's really amazing how they still manage to put out fresh-sounding material. I mean, there are some songs on here that are worse than others, but none of them seem out of place on this record. Chino's lyrical prowess really shows on here as well. The lyrics, which largely deal with mental health struggles, are very abstract in a poetic sort of way that I really relate to. Instead of literally saying what's on his mind, his lyrics allow you to truly feel what... I'll give it an 85 out of 100. No Alternative will be back right after this. Welcome back, music lovers, to No Alternative, Oswego's alternative music show. I am your host, DJ Dash, and unfortunately, I have to announce that this is the last segment of tonight's episode. This segment I call DJ Dash's Music Diary, where I'll be doing a segment this segment I'll be doing at the end of every episode, where I'll be presenting you with all of my current most listened to songs that aren't on any of the albums I reviewed on a current episode. Alright, so the first song I have is Forest by System of a Down. For those of you who are in the alternative and metal communities as a whole, this band really needs no introduction. They're really among the best in both genres. Their fantastic 2001 album Toxicity recently celebrated its anniversary, and Forest is the 8th track off of this album. And it's a blistering track with soaring vocals from Serge Tankian and the lyrics, which are becoming ever more relevant in today's climate. Next up, I've got a track called My Heroine by the band Silverstein. Hailing from Burlington, Ontario, just a few hours away from here, Silverstein was one of the leading bands in the mall emo movement of the 2000s. Their most popular track, My Heroine, shines with arguably more raw emotion than most other bands of this era can muster. This track and the album, Discovering the Waterfront, is really phenomenal and could potentially be a candidate for a classic album review later down the line. Well, that is it for this episode of No Alternative. I am your host, DJ Dash. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a nice night.
Tonight on WTOP-10 Nightly News, SUNY Oswego's Theater Department Silent Sky performances started today and will continue this weekend with a special post-show talkback Saturday evening.
And the Great Pumpkin 5K Run or Walk returns this weekend for family and friends.
Plus, the newly renovated Hewitt Hall is hosting an open house celebration and alumni reunion next week.
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Logan Russo.
And I'm Emma White.
SUNY Oswego is inviting students, faculty, staff, alumni, and community members to an open house celebrating the newly renovated Hewitt Hall on October 25th from noon to 2:30 p.m. Following a combined renovation project of $127 million through the SUNY Construction Fund, this event will span between both Hewitt and Tyler Halls.
Guests can explore classrooms, labs, and studios, each showcasing their uniqueness. Some of these include sound and film demos, theater department showcases, interactive and participatory exhibits, music from the WNYO DJ booth, and much more. For more information on this milestone event, go to oswego.edu. The Great Pumpkin 5K Run or Walk has returned and will take place on Saturday, October 18th from noon to 2 p.m., rain or shine. All are welcome to the event that will start at the Marano Campus Center Food and Activity Court, with the first 75 registrations getting a free t-shirt. Entry fee is $5 per person, with all proceeds going to Blessings in a Backpack that provides food on weekends for elementary school children in Oswego who are in need. For more information, go to the SUNY Oswego website.
SUNY Oswego alumnus and renowned entrepreneur Joe Kinsella is hosting a business and STEM conference on Thursday, October 23rd in the Sheldon Hall Ballroom from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. This free event will keynote the entrepreneurial mindset, highlighting how innovation thrives when fields work together. Many other panels throughout the event will feature other faculty and staff members from the college with spotlights for Oswego's unique opportunities such as internships, micro-credentials, and grant opportunities. Visit the SUNY Oswego website to register. CEO and founder
of Greek University, Dr. Mike Ayalon held two events on campus today. Ayalon facilitated a workshop for faculty and staff focusing on the role of advisors in understanding hazing and fostering safe and inclusive student organizations. Ayalon also held a workshop for students on how to eradicate hazing practices from Greek life by fostering a culture of respect, safety, and camaraderie. The workshop encouraged the creation of meaningful and engaging alternatives to hazing that promote unity, skill building, and healthy interactions among members.
SUNY Oswego's Artswego Performing Arts Series welcomes the PAZA experience to campus on Monday, October 28th at 7 p.m. in the Hewitt Hall Ballroom. Founded by renowned Indigenous performer and the executive director of the nonprofit PAZA Tree of Life, Delwyn Fiddler Jr., invites audiences to experience a night of Native American music, dance, and storytelling. In addition to performing at SUNY Oswego, the PAZA experience will also be visiting Fulton, Mexico, and Oswego Public Schools the day before the show goes on campus. To get your tickets, go to tickets.oswego.edu. College is all about opportunity from student media to campus recreation, but at SUNY Oswego, some of those opportunities are being threatened, not because of a lack of interest, but because of a lack of funding.
Reporter Mike Necker shows us how these budget cuts are impacting students behind the cameras, as well as those looking to stay active on campus.
This sound is the last thing you want to hear coming from your computer. But for SUNY Oswego's student-run TV station, it's just one of many technical issues they've faced so far this year.
Our camera's not working properly. We've had issues in the back. We've had issues with remote productions. Pretty much anything that was normally functioning in the past is kind of starting to age out.
These technical issues can all be placed back to one overarching theme: money.
This is my second year being president and GM at TOP, and I would say the budget is probably a quarter of what it was when I first got here. Despite these struggles, student leaders in WTOP-10 continue to push through, looking elsewhere to find funding for new equipment. We also have a backup budget. It's called our CD budget. That budget is also going to start getting taken into at this point.
Student organizations aren't the only ones losing funding either. SUNY Oswego's Director of Campus Recreation, Brian Wallace, whose office is set behind me in Lee Hall, tells us that things are far from perfect for SUNY Oswego's campus recreation programs.
Our adjustments we had to make was we had to cut back on some fringe items, particularly some more like capital improvement projects and some other purchases that we wanted to make, and then we just couldn't quite make them.
So whether it's behind the cameras at WTOP-10 or out on the courts and fields across SUNY Oswego's campus, students are pushing forward despite limited resources. But until more funding becomes available, this alarming uncertainty remains. Mike Neckers, WTOP-10.
I don't know about you, but it's starting to feel colder and colder outside.
Yeah, it feels like fall is finally here to stay. Let's send it over to your Storm Team 10 meteorologist, Eric Drayton.
Thank you, Emma, Logan. I do agree. It definitely does feel like the weather is getting colder, and frankly, for me, it's getting a little too cold. So right now, we're gonna just go over some quick headlines. Wind chill. I'm sure you definitely felt that the wind has been way too intense over the past few days. Another frost advisory as we start to move into the weekend for Family and Friends Day. Hopefully, that will just warm itself up. Sun will come out, clouds might roll in. We'll see what happens. We have some rain that will move in over the weekend, and that will unfortunately continue into next week. So we're going to take a look at that later. And fall's not the only season, it's hockey season. So we're going to see what the Oswego hockey team is going to be doing for Family and Friends weekend when they start their season with 2 games. Back to you at the desk. I'll get more into it later.
Thanks, Eric.
SUNY Oswego Theater Department's production of Silent Sky is running through this weekend in Waterman Theater. The show follows the true story of 19th century astronomer Henrietta Leavitt as she explores a woman's place in society during a time of immense scientific discoveries. 4 shows are left, with 1 being held on Friday and 2 being held on Saturday. Show times and tickets can be found at tickets.oswego.edu.
Directly after the Saturday evening Silent Sky performance, Professor and Director Shashi Kanber will present a post-show talkback. Kanber's research is built from the work of 19th century astronomer Henrietta Leavitt, the main character of Silent Sky. Leavitt's groundbreaking work measuring the universe's distance forever changed the understanding of science. This post-show event is free, but make sure you get your Silent Sky ticket for the performance at Oswego at tickets.oswego.edu. We have received breaking news that famous Kiss guitarist Ace Frehley has died at the age of 74. According to reports from Rolling Stone, Frehley was in the hospital this week following a recent incident in his home. Authorities believe the cause of death was a brain bleed. Also known as the Wild Spaceman and guitarist of Kiss, he rocked with the band throughout the 70s and the reunion during the 90s. Still ahead tonight, the Oswego Arts Department joins forces with the Department of Technology for an annual Festival of Fire.
Plus, how a major vehicle company is being impacted following the recent shutdown of a local factory.
Look at the number of disasters in the U.S. Chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris. That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts.
It's showtime, Chris. Come on. I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No.
Spin the wheel. But you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
Good morning or evening, wherever you're watching. I hope that you are. Right now in Oswego, it is 53 degrees and has a wonderful dew point of 35, so hopefully that won't make things a little too crazy up there in the atmosphere. The humidity is only 51, so hopefully you won't be sweating as this wind continues to wreak havoc, as we discussed earlier. Pressure is a little high, and the wind is only going about 6 miles per hour. We should be okay. Now, unfortunately, we do still have another frost advisory to worry about. That will be in effect until around 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And honestly, we're looking over to the west. There's just more frost advisories, so just keep an eye out. Now, as the temperatures get cooler, you might have to put away the slip and slide so that you don't slip and slide over north of Albany, where you don't have a frost advisory, you actually have a freeze warning. So I want you all to be careful as you do that. Now, if you do have a car and that freeze warning gets to you, unfortunately, that's okay. Just make sure that you leave about 5 minutes before you leave for work, school, whatever you choose. You should only need about a quick scrape. That's all it'll take to clear that windshield. Now, the only thing cooler than the temperature is the auroras. Tonight, we're looking forward to seeing that possibly around 8. It's not going to be too good, but as we move closer into those midnight hours, you should be able to see that better, should start disappearing. Tomorrow in Oswego, around morning, you're going to see 46 degrees. Those clouds are going to start to roll in. They're going to roll out, but with it, it's going to come on back, bring some rain for the afternoon. And quite frankly, that's sad considering that the families are coming up, but that won't last too long. You see, as we move into Saturday morning, it's going to be 48 degrees, more clouds. But quite frankly, if you're asking me, I'm tired of clouds. So we're going to take these clouds and push them somewhere else so that the temperature can raise up to 61 degrees. Now, as we take a look at the 7-day, 55 tomorrow, sunny. Hockey will begin on Saturday, Family and Friends Day. Hopefully you'll buy tickets to that game, show everyone a good time. Unfortunate chance of thunderstorms starting on Sunday evening, not morning. And to end that, going into the week, we have more chances of rain staying in low 60s and high 50s. That is all for my weather report. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Eric. Continuing our campus coverage, even more exciting weekend events to look forward to. Oswego's Departments of Technology and Art are coming together tomorrow for a festival of fire. The festival will include a ceramic pit firing and an iron pour. Students and faculty are encouraged to come watch and even participate in some of the world's oldest art forms. If you're feeling artistic, the festival is offering scratch plates for students to add their own designs to have cast in iron.
The Rice Creek Field Station will be holding a pollination-themed festival. The festival is celebrating SUNY Oswego's first year being designated as a Bee Campus USA. Members of these campus communities work to preserve native pollinators by creating a better habitat for them. Rice Creek is offering guided nature walks, live music, and a number of educational activities.
The Novelis aluminum plant fire from earlier this month is starting to cause major issues for Ford Motor Company. The company is temporarily cutting production of several different vehicle models due to a lack of supplies. Ford cut production on 2 manufacturing locations in Kentucky and Michigan. Ford is Novelis's biggest customer, providing body panels for many trucks. The company does not expect to be operational until early next year.
New information regarding a domestic dispute in Pulaski last week. State troopers received information indicating that a male subject was seen with a handgun. This suspect, identified as Mark A. Van Wormer, became involved with a verbal dispute which escalated into a physical conflict involving choking. Van Wormer was not found with a handgun when police arrived, but later admitted to hiding it. He is being charged with menacing in the 2nd degree, criminal obstruction of breathing, and criminal possession of a firearm in the 2nd degree.
A number of environmental nonprofits in Oswego have been awarded grants from Constellation Energy Corp. Constellation provides electric power, natural gas, and energy management services. They provide $1.1 million in support to 46 environmental stewardship projects across the country. Several nonprofits across New York will receive grants ranging from $4,000 to $125,000. When WTOP-10 Nightly News continues, the New York Police Department's latest endeavor.
And find out why New York City and the federal government are at odds.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
If you like action, romance,
if you're watching this,
and highbrow humor,
surface is this.
Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
there's only one place to turn.
No!
Tune in to new episodes of
Oh boy!
only on WTOP.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News.
In consumer news,
New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who has dropped his re-election bid, spoke about the mayoral debate taking place between Democratic nominee Zohran Mamdani, former Governor Andrew Cuomo, and Republican nominee Curtis Sliwa.
I'm hoping that New Yorkers are focused on the candidates to make sure the right questions are asked so that we can see what the city is going to look like in the future. Endorsement. Everyone is asking me when you're going to endorse, when you're going to endorse, when you're going to endorse, when I'm ready to endorse. That's the best answer that I can give. And everyone that is giving their predictions, you must be inside my head because I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
the 2025 New York City general election mayoral debate happened this Thursday night at 7 p.m. The debate's three candidates expressed their stances on Israel and Gaza, the Trump administration, and security concerns in New York City. The election aired on multiple streaming services as well as public broadcasts from NBC4 New York and Politico New York. The election for New York mayor is scheduled for November 4th, 2025.
New York City is suing the federal government over nearly $50 million being pulled from school funding over transgender student policies. The city's public schools have long allowed transgender students to use school facilities such as restrooms and locker rooms based off of their gender identity. The federal government says it violates Title IX, demanding the students separate based on their biological sex. The city says doing so would violate New York state law.
The New York Police Department is launching a new unit dedicated to investigating domestic violence incidents in the city. Set to be the largest in the nation, the Domestic Violence Unit will change how the department handles cases and supports survivors. In addition to the new unit, the NYPD is creating two new civilian roles, a Domestic Violence Council and a Domestic Violence Direction of Prevention and Intervention. New York innocent as innocent of federal fraud charges brought by Trump's handpicked U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia.
She appeared alongside New York Governor Kathy Hochul to tout a federal judge's ruling restoring counterterrorism funding, where Hochul decried the indictment against James.
It is absolutely the weaponization of the Department of Justice. And that's what's so scary about this. That no one in this country is safe if you stand up against this administration or just do your job, as our Attorney General has been doing, that you are now in their crosshairs. And so, I have confidence in our Attorney General to be able to withstand what's coming, but these are dark, scary days.
I would say.
Sources say that even after investigating for 5 months, there has been no incriminating evidence found against James. And now we're going to pass it to our sports reporter, Michelle Smith. Michelle, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. With another Lakers hockey season starting up this weekend, let's take a minute to meet the new captains of the men's and women's teams. Leading the pack for the men is Matt McQuaid. McQuaid is a senior forward going into his third year at Oswego. He finished last season with 31 points, including a goal in the SUNY title clincher. The assistant captain squad consists of Gatto, Bala, and Simons, all returning from last season. The three seniors combined for 43 points last season. Leading the women is Helen Van Dam. Van Dam, a junior defenseman, is one of only 6 upperclassmen on the young roster. In her career at Oswego, Van Dam has played 45 games for a total of 15 points. Coming off of a SUNY win and a SUNY regular season championship, the men's and women's teams are buzzing to hit the ice. Tune into WTOP-10 at 2:30 and 6:30 this Saturday for live coverage of the games, or be there yourself in the Deborah F. Stanley Ice Center. Up next is sports anchor Rob Finger with MLB coverage and more on your Oswego Lakers.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris. That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts.
It's showtime, Crits.
Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No.
Spin the wheel. But you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. I'm Rob Finger. Let's get into your sports report for tonight, starting with the Oswego Lakers hockey teams. The Lakers women's hockey team is kicking off hockey at the Deb this weekend as they take on the St. John Fisher Cardinals at home. This is, in fact, St. John Fisher's first ever D3 hockey games in program history, and they will be playing in the UCHC conference starting this year. Lots of turnover has occurred for the Lakers, so it'll be interesting to see who steps up this season. Coverage here on WTOP begins on Saturday at 2:30 with our pregame show. Not long after, the Lakers men's hockey team will be kicking off their season as well, taking on the men's side of St. John Fisher. The Lakers come into the season the reigning SUNY champions, but with private schools Hobart and Skidmore both joining the SUNY as of this year. The competition will be fierce as ever. The only real changes that the Lakers have made to their lineup is the addition of 4 new freshmen, while their now sophomore core gets more closely knit. WTOP-10's coverage of men's hockey will begin at 6:30 Saturday night, so be sure to tune in. Let's head out to some national stories. And speaking of national, the NLCS is going on right now with the LA Dodgers currently leading the Brewers 2-0 after only allowing 2 runs in the first 2 games. On the other side of the bracket, the ALCS is getting tense as the Blue Jays brought the series back within 1 game with their victory last night. But the Seattle Mariners are still leading 2-1. Both series have their latest additions going on as we speak. Hitting a different kind of field, this week's edition of Thursday Night Football features the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals going head-to-head over in Ohio. The Steelers currently lead the NFC North with a record of 4-1 after pummeling the Browns 23-9. And the Bengals, meanwhile, sit in second with a dismal 2-4 record, their most recent matchup being a 27-18 loss to the Green Bay Packers. That game as well is going on as we speak. But now, let's head to the ice as the Buffalo Sabres had quite a night against the Senators at home. KeyBank Center in Buffalo is where we find ourselves for this one. Ottawa Senators taking on the Sabres at home. We'll go to the first period. Sabres rushing into the zone, and prepare yourself for just about the weirdest goal scored so far this season. Jack Quinn fires one off the wall, but bounces back and goes in off the back of Levi Marilainen. Later in the period, Sens possessing deep in the Sabres end, gets it out to the D-man, worked across, fired! And that one gets tipped in off the stick of Tim Stützle. It is 1-1 in Buffalo. Second period now, Sabres dump it in. Marilainen goes to grab it, but that one bounces clear of him, gets it over to Zach Benson. Save made, rebounds there though, and Ryan McLeod pots this one to tie us back up at 2 apiece. 3-2 Buffalo later. Boar battle in the Sens and squirts out, but Zach Benson is just able to keep this one in. Down low for the pass, and Jason Zucker makes no mistake. Gives the Sabres a 2-goal lead, and the Sabres would just not stop. The final score of this game would reach 8-4 in favor of the Buffalo Sabres, quadrupling the amount of goals they were able to score in the first 3 games of the season, but they still stand at 1-3 in the record column. Thankfully, one place above the Ottawa Senators at the bottom of the Atlantic Division. Well, don't go away, ladies and gents. We've got more coming up after these messages. You're watching the Nightly News right here on WTOP-10.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
If you like action, romance,
if you're watching this,
and highbrow humor,
Surface is this? Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
there's only one place to turn.
No!
Tune in to new episodes of
Oh boy!
only on WTOP.
For this week's Pet of the Week, we're going all the way to California. A 3-year-old dog was rescued Tuesday morning from a flood channel in Oxnard.
Ventura County Fire Department found the small female pup shivering on top of debris and surrounded by fast-moving water.
Firefighters managed to reach the dog and safely returned her to the shore.
Ventura County Animal Services is currently taking care of the animal. The agency is searching for the pet's owner.
I gotta say, I'm happy that dog made it out okay.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. And a credit to the firemen as well that were able to make that happen.
Yeah, did you see that? Getting the ladder, going out over the water with the ladder?
Yeah, I mean, my father used to be a firefighter, so I know all about that, and they better receive some awards.
Pretty crazy. Well, that's our report for tonight.
Thank you for watching.
Have a great night, everyone.
What is good, music lovers and television watchers? Welcome to No Alternative, Oswego's premier music review show. I am DJ Dash here, Oswego's busiest music nerd, and joining me for the first time as my co-host of this show, I have the wonderful DJ.
It's Nate Hand. I have nothing really planned. I guess I'm the invisible hand, but let's roll with it.
He is a very cool guy who listens to a wide range of different alternative music, and he's going to provide some really good insight into a lot of that music. So to start off tonight's show, let's do a quick rundown of some new albums that came out in the past couple of weeks. Starting off with some dream pop, we have Night Tapes with Portals/Polarities. The London-based dream pop duo has released their long-awaited debut album, creating lush soundscapes with dreamy lyrics that sound like what I could best describe as what showering at night feels like. Fans of dream pop, you'll also like No Scope, an album by a different dream pop band, LA's Crushed. This album, however, incorporates more indie pop and 90s trip-hop sounds into their music. The song Starburn is a real highlight here. Moving on to some metal stuff, Dying Wish comes in slamming with their third album, Flesh Stays Together. Their beatdown hardcore sound, or chugcore as I like to call it, expands on this album with awesome chugging riffs and increased clean vocals. Boston technical thrash band Revocation really delivers with New Gods, New Masters. This stuff, wow, it really slaps silly. Their heavy and technical sound is once again an absolutely mental offering from these veterans. Speaking of metal, the highly anticipated sophomore release by black metal shoegaze band Agriculture, The Spiritual Sound, is out now. With a vast soundscape of loud, distorted darkness, this album's real. For fans of AFI, their new wave tangent continues with Silver Bleeds the Black Sun. Definitely a different style than their classic punk stuff, but not any less impressive. And for fans of Thrice, their new album, Horizons West, is out now. Speaking of which, up next we will delve into our first feature review of the night, a review of this new album by Thrice. No Alternative will be back right after this.
If you like action, romance,
Polly sister, if you're watching this,
highbrow humor,
Surface is this. Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
there's only one place to turn.
No!
Tune in to new episodes of
Oh boy!
only on WTOP.
Look at the number of disasters in the U.S. Chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris. That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts.
it's showtime, crits.
Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No.
Spin the wheel. But you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
Welcome back to No Alternative, Oswego's premier alternative music show. For our first main segment of the night, we'll be talking about the new album by emo/post-hardcore band Thrice, Horizons West. So starting off with some background on the band, as always, Thrice is an emo/post-hardcore band hailing from Irvine, California. Their early albums, such as 2002's The Illusions of Safety and 2003's The Artist in the Ambulance, garnered significant attention for their utilization of heavy distortion, prominent lead guitars, and uncommon time signatures. Now, the more recent releases of Thrice, such as 2016's To Be Everywhere and To Be Nowhere, 2018's Palms, and 2021's Horizons East, show the band seeming to somewhat abandon their emo roots for a more straightforward alternative rock sound, a creative move that has gotten more mixed reviews from critics and fans compared to the widespread acclaims of their first albums. In 2025, they have finally returned with the follow-up to Horizons East, Horizons West. Does it hold up among their classic albums, or is it just another dud from this band? Let's find out. So I guess I'll start with the lead singles. Nash was the lead single off of this album. It's a pretty exciting track with these interesting chord progressions and a frantic rhythm. And it ends with this average but cool nonetheless breakdown. The next single, Albatross, is more spaced out and melodic. Dustin Kensrue's vocals on here really remind me of the band Balance and Composure. The lead guitars adding emphasis on here are also amazing. The other two songs released as singles for this album are Holding On and The Dark Glow. Holding On has the energy of a lot of Thrice's earlier music. Kensrue's gruff vocals sing over this desperate, fast-paced track. The Dark Glow more or less follows in the footsteps of Albatross, but at a slower pace with more electronics. It's an okay song, but probably the weakest of the singles. Speaking of electronics, the band's use of synths and electronics in the background really helps add an atmosphere to the album, especially on the first track, Blackout, which has this really cool sounding electronic soundscape that opens with this quiet electronic synthy intro, and it picks up with these rallying, shouting vocals, heavy instrumentation, as well as Undertow, which has this almost Radiohead-esque electronic beat accompanying the verses. There are also these ambient passages between songs that give it this sort of connected feel, and I just want to say, if you're listening on a platform with ads, I don't want to sound rude, but like, what are you doing? I used to listen to albums on YouTube before I got Spotify, and it would really ruin the experience for me. Like, I would just be like locked in listening, and all of a sudden Grammarly can help, and I'm like, oh my god, please stop.
I totally get that. When I was listening to like Spotify when I was broke, it was like I would open and close the app to get past the ads and bypass it in some sort of way. But I totally get it. But Thrice sort of settles into their sound by the second half of the album. Tracks like Crooked Shadows and Distant Sun that embody the modern Thrice sound, but it has a bit of a harder edge. But the bass on Crooked Shadows is really fun though, so I have to give it credit for that. I'd also like to mention Vesper Light is a late in the album standout, with Kensrue switching between his falsetto and a more aggressive vocal style throughout the track. It's a really interesting listen, but the instrumentation on here is also really, really interesting to me, with this sort of loud, quiet dynamic.
So talking about this album as a whole, I really enjoyed it, but I also know that post-hardcore, or whatever this kind of style of music that Thrice is making nowadays, is a genre that I really enjoy, probably a lot more than most normal people. So if you're a fan of Thrice or a fan of alternative rock and post-hardcore in general, I think you'll really like it. But if it's not your niche, then this may be a forgettable album. My favorites off of this album are Albatross and Vesper Light, and I'll give this album a 70 out of 100. Coming up after the break, we have some real special stuff for you. We have our first classic album review on No Alternative. I am so excited. I can barely contain my enthusiasm. Are you excited, Nate?
I'd say that I'm really excited for Siamese Dream. It's one of my favorite Smashing Pumpkin records, and it's just an album that I overall really enjoy. So I also agree that I can hardly contain my excitement. So we'll be right back to the No Alternative goodness right after this quick break, where you'll hear more about our awesome music taste, not to toot our own horns, but yeah, we'll be right back.
Oh, yeah.
Get rid of all the questions.
If only we had someone who could tell us what we should and shouldn't watch.
Well, do we have a show for you?
Who are you?
What are you doing in my bed?
On Be Kind and Rewind, we will go through and review all your favorite movie franchises. And tell you which ones you should and shouldn't watch from the perspective of normal movie fans. Well, be sure to check out Be Kind and Rewind on WTOP-10.
Doing this together.
Welcome back, music lovers, to No Alternative, Oswego's premier music review show. I'm DJ Dash.
And I'm Nate. And we're going to be taking a look at the
incredible
song.
All right.
Take over.
The incredible 1993 sophomore album by the Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese Dream, and our first classic album review on No Alternative. To get started, as always, I'll provide some background on the band. So for the Smashing Pumpkins, for all fans of alternative music, they really need no introduction. They were formed in the late 80s in Chicago, Illinois, and in the early to late 90s, they had one of the most insane runs of any alternative rock act ever, featuring Billy Corgan on vocals, Jimmy Chamberlin on drums, James Iha on guitar, and Darcy Retzky on bass. In 1995, they dropped Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, an ambitious concept album which included songs of all different genres and helped fuel the more progressive and heavier side of alternative rock. But 2 years before Melancholy, they released Siamese Dream, an album which many fans argue is still their masterpiece. And that is the album we're going to be talking about tonight. Getting into the track-by-track review, since this is a longer album than what we're used to covering, it's like 13 or 14 tracks, we're going to do things a little differently.
Instead of going through each track one by one, we're just going to talk about some of the standout moments on the album, the stuff that personally really resonates with us.
All right, let's start off with Cherub Rock, a thunderous opener with both a catchy melody and chorus. This song is perfect for any alternative rock playlist. Now, a fair warning here for those of you unfamiliar with the Pumpkins, you'll soon learn that Billy Corgan has a pretty interesting voice. It complements the Pumpkins' music well, but compared to actual good singers, it's not that great. Anyways, Today and Disarm are sort of the album's hit tracks. Today is a classic grunge masterwork that carries almost unparalleled emotional depth compared to other hit songs of its time. Disarm is more stripped down in comparison, albeit with a grand orchestral backdrop. The lyrics are still very introspective, much like today. The killer in me is the killer in you is one of the many Pumpkin lyrics that has resonated with me over the years. As someone who's struggled with mental health a lot, Billy Corgan's his lyric writing has it's been a real source of motivation, I would say. So anyways, Soma has this sort of floaty sort of space rock intro that builds into a heavy and impressive climax with fuzzy distortion and lead guitar just soaring into the stratosphere. Billy Corgan's lyrics continue to deal with complicated themes. I think for this song, it's about the end of a relationship or a toxic relationship. Man, you wouldn't believe what some bands do on songs that aren't like radio hits, right?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like deep cuts. To get off of the Pumpkins train for a moment, Benz by the Radiohead, oh my gosh, is like one of my favorite albums.
Awesome album.
But I like the singles a lot more than some of the songs that actually made the cut. I really like India Rubber, and I also really like I think it's Maquiladora, but I guess let's get back to Smashing Pumpkins.
All right, thank you for that input, Nate. The loud and quiet dynamic that the Pumpkins use a lot is also present on this album, such as on Geek USA, where the fast-paced track has quieter interludes before building up towards a blistering climax. And Silver, that's not the full name of the song. I can't say the rest of it on air, but whatever. It's an 8.5-minute juggernaut of a track marked with quiet interludes, and it's just really awesome if you're into like those long songs that build up. And Mayonnaise, oh my goodness, Mayonnaise is one of the best songs ever made. Wouldn't you agree, Nate?
Actually, I'm gonna go on record and say Mayonnaise is pretty good, but it doesn't hit the same highs as songs like Space Boy and Luna for me. In recent years, I've kind of ruined Luna for myself, but I still think the song captures the essence of love songs at the time. It's just like this really kind of like slow burn song. It's kind of great for yearning, but as a proud yearner, I can't yearn anymore to that song. It's been ruined by previous endeavors.
Yeah,
but,
that's fair.
Space Boy, it's this really great song. It just has this awesome emotional range from Corgan. It always gets me in my feels, so to speak.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nate. Space Boy, I feel, is very underappreciated here. It's a very emotional song, but in a more heartwarming way. Especially as a step sibling to two brothers. It's definitely a song that I also resonate with a lot. I'm pretty sure Corgan wrote the song about his younger brother, actually.
Okay. That's something that I didn't know.
Would you like to talk a little bit about Rocket?
I will talk about Rocket. So Rocket is an excellent song. The song feels like an actual rocket's slow ascent into the sky, and it really captures this feeling of like the thrill of flight. It's just liberating, and it really captures that feeling of being free. I think this album is an excellent starting place for those unfamiliar with Smashing Pumpkins. That's where I started my journey personally, and it kind of has this widest range of sounds, in my opinion, to get someone introduced to what they have to offer. It really feels like a cornerstone of the 90s alt-rock scene. When I think of albums from the 90s, this is one of those albums that just like permeates my mind.
I absolutely agree with you, Nate. I mean, what more do I have to say about this other than it's a brilliant masterpiece? There are some rough moments on here, though, that I didn't really touch on in the script. And like I said earlier, Billy Corgan's vocals aren't for everyone, but the album is still a masterwork of 90s shoegaze and grunge nonetheless, and one of my all-time favorite albums. I have literally no other rating I can give than a 95 out of 100.
So we're coming up on another break, but I promise you, the viewer, our beautiful faces will return once again and grace your TV screens, where we'll be discussing one of the most highly anticipated new albums of the year. No Alternative will be right back after this break.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
If you like action, romance,
Polly sister, if you're watching this,
highbrow humor,
Surface is this. Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
there's only one place to turn.
No!
Tune in to new episodes of
Oh boy!
only on WTOP.
Back,
Wonderful music lovers to no alternative. Oswego's best, most awesome, and coolest music review show. I am DJ Dash.
And I'm Nate, the Invisible Hand, and for this segment we'll be talking about the brand new album Getting Killed by Geese. I'm sure the title of the album alone will resonate with many Oswegonians. Getting Killed is the third studio album from New York City-based band Geese. The album is currently sitting around a 4 out of 5 on Rate Your Music, which is really high for a new release. So, just to talk about Geese for a little bit, the main critique that most people clamoring about the album online is that it feels like a sequel to the solo album that the lead singer Cameron Winter released at the tail end of 2024, that album being Heavy Metal. In Heavy Metal, Winter kind of goes on this melancholic tirade of passion, and Heavy Metal feels deeply personal and often parades these cryptic and nonsensical lyrics to the listener's confusion. In my personal experience of listening to Winter and his solo work, I don't get a lot of the references, but it isn't inhibiting my enjoyment of the album or any of the songs. So songs like $0 represent the most, and just like the concept of Winter just kind of like letting his mind run and run and run. And it's a really good starting point to familiarize yourself with the work of Cameron Winter.
Man, that Cameron Winter solo album, Love Takes Miles, it sure is amazing. It's like an epiphany put into musical form.
Pretty much, and Winter has been mentioned in a similar light as musicians like Tom Waits, Leonard Cohen, and Bob Dylan for solo work. You kind of heard that with Dash's awesome vocal riff of Winter's hit song, Love Takes Smiles. But Getting Killed feels like an extension of Winter's solo career with Geese as his backup band. Like, it's like if Elliott Smith and Heat Miser, like if they still continued to perform after Elliott Smith's solo success, which is a real shame because Geese's previous work is brilliant in the sense that it was very much like its own thing. As a fan of both Geese and Cameron Winter, this album is fun to me, but some parts of the album really, really drag. The standout songs to me are Trinidad, 100 Horses, and Long Island City, Here I Come. Trinidad has this really nice bass line that permeates the track, with Winter essentially screaming his heart out with lyrics that are definitely not suitable for television. It's really amazing stuff here, but I wouldn't say that this is a really suitable song to put someone onto Geese for the first time. The song is a little too abstract, with the performance of the band being all over the place, but still kind of coming back together for the only part of cohesion, which is the chorus, which is the part that is not good for TV or any airplay, really. But 100 Horses, it's got some really great lyrics on there, and it focuses on a fictional general as this like law enforcer character who's cracking down on what's allowed in times of war. This is almost an attack on Winter's persona, and is more so a commentary on ideology. And my favorite track off the album, Long Island City, Here I Come, is one of the best I don't have a dad rock songs of the decade. It's got this cryptic sound to it where, like, if you didn't know what the band was experiencing at the time, you'd be like, what the heck is this? But it's such a good song with all these like religious and personal references. He talks about like I don't know, kicking down the walls of Jericho, and also like him having like a spiritual experience with Buddy Holly, and Buddy Holly telling him that he's like the next big thing to happen to rock. It's really interesting when you read into the lyrics. It's got a lot of personal references that put it on par with songs like 3D Country and Crusades off of Geese's sophomore record, 3D Country, and also Cancer of the Skull and Nina plus a Field of Cops from Winter's solo album Heavy Metal.
So to add some of my own thoughts on the tracks, really I'm going to add my thoughts on the only track I've listened to off this album, Taxes. I think it's my favorite off this album because it's at this point still the only one I've listened to.
I can't blame you. So Taxes is kind of like their breakout single from Getting Killed. It's the second song that Winter has been able to perform on Jimmy Kimmel Live, the first song being Drinking Age from his solo album. But I guess to get back on track, Trinidad, 100 Horses, and Long Island City, Here I Come, feel the closest to a traditional Geese song, but with that Winter signature touch. Most of the other songs are enjoyable, however they are a little too long or feel a little too repetitive. If I had to rate the album out of 100, I would give Getting Killed by Geese a 70. It is a passing grade, but it isn't anything exceptional compared to their previous work. It's not a bad direction that the band is heading in, but it's such a cluttered mess to listen to. Now, we're going to throw it a break. We'll return with our music diary picks, and you can expect to hear more with some awesome alternative music right after this.
Romance.
Polly, sister, if you're watching this,
highbrow humor.
Surface is this? Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
There's only one place to turn.
No!
Tune in to new episodes of
Oh boy!
only on WTOP.
Look at the number of disasters in the U.S. Chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris. That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts.
It's showtime, Crits.
Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No.
Spin the wheel. Oh, you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
Welcome back, music lovers. This is No Alternative, Oswego's premier music review show. We're going to finish things off very quickly with the Music Diary, where we rapid-fire songs we've been listening to as of late. This is totally a bit.
Let's see. I'll kick things off with a song that's been on repeat since it's released. Everyone Falls Asleep in Their Own Time by Sophia Stell. It's like Lord alternative pop music mixed with like the vocals of Ethel Cain.
All right, for my first track, I'm going to pick a pretty obscure one, Diving Heavy by Australian heavy shoegaze band Glow. Lots of fuzzy distortion, emotional lyrics, cool shoegaze stuff.
Gotcha. In a tonal switch, I've been in a Pierre Bourne mood as of late. I've been listening to a lot of The Life of Pierre 4. It is probably the greatest mixtape of all time. Sassaholics. I mostly listen to Ballad, but it's basically just the transition to routine is really great. It's got that like SoundCloud mixtape era nostalgia for me.
So it looks like we are out of time. Thank you guys for tuning in to No Alternative. Have a nice night. We'll be back very soon.
Welcome on into season 23, episode number 3 of Laker Connections, your only place for all things Laker sports. I'm Ken Gerard, co-hosted by the somewhat likable Lucas McGarry.
Oh, come on.
Now, Mr. McGarry.
Yes.
Unfortunately, winter sports here in the Port City have all wrapped up for the season. But thankfully, spring sports are in full swing, with many squads getting their first SUNYAC matchups underway. Now, speaking of, let's get started with our Laker recap.
Yeah, no, I love the Laker recap. Honestly, kind of my favorite segment of the show.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a hot take.
I enjoy it. Laker Showdown's a lot of fun. I like Laker recap because I love talking about how good the Lakers did.
I didn't give you time to say, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited to talk about how good the Lakers did. I'm very excited.
Good. Well, I guess we'll just get right into it. As I just mentioned, spring sports are in full swing and conference play has begun. Now, some teams are looking to make a return to the SUNYAC playoffs after strong seasons last year. Others are looking to rebound from disappointing seasons last year. Now, speaking of teams looking for a return to the playoffs, let's start off with how the men's lacrosse team did. Lucas, take it away.
Yeah, how about it? Oswego kicked off conference play with a commanding 11-6 victory over New Paltz, setting the tone early and never looking back. Lakers jumped out to a fast start with 3 quick goals from Garrett Elston and Corey O'Connor. Although the Hawks responded with 2 goals, Oswego seized control by rattling off 5 unanswered scores to take an 8-2 lead into halftime. The second half saw a more balanced battle, with both teams adding 2 goals in the third quarter, including goals from Nate Ham and Corey O'Connor for the Lakers. Oswego's defense remained strong down the stretch, shutting down New Paltz's offense to secure the win and to start conference play on a very high note. Lakers starting off strong.
Well, you can't go undefeated if you don't win the first one. You take a look at some of the stats here. 11-6, a good win for Oswego. They outshoot them, and they got more shots on goal. And look at that. Only 7 shots not on net for these Lakers. That's a winning recipe for this Oswego team. Now, we'll talk about later who they're going to play down the road. It's going to be a tough matchup in the next one. But what a good win for Oswego. Start off 1-0 in SUNYAC play, who have not played at home yet. Again, we're going to talk about that very shortly. But, Lucas, looks like it's going to be a good season for this men's team.
Yeah, no, I love the efficiency here. Like you just said, they only had 7 shots that weren't on goal. That is peak efficiency, and in a game like that against a conference team, that is exactly what you want. I love it.
Well, let's move on to the women's team now. The Oswego State women's lacrosse team looked to keep their SUNYAC record perfect, coming in at 2-0 in the SUNYAC against the Canton Kangaroos. The Lakers would strike first and take a commanding 4-0 lead in the first before Canton would respond, making it a 4-1 game. The Lakers would once again go on a run, and it was a good one. The Lakers went on a 6-0 scoring run to make the game 10-1 early in the second. The Lakers led 11-3 going into the half, and Canton was unable to mount the comeback. The Lakers would go on to defeat the Roos 15-4 and stay perfect in conference. The Lakers move on to 3-0 in the SUNYAC and 7-2 overall. Lucas, the Lakers have some serious goal scorers this season and look good early on. Now, what is working so well for this Lakers squad?
Well, first of all, I just want to say I wish I could have appreciated this game more being there, but I was outside freezing the entire time. It was hailing, snowing, really bad wind. But regardless of that, I think that the way the Lakers have been playing these past couple of games has been absolutely phenomenal. They have been dominating teams recently by scores of 10+. They are regularly having that running clock going at the end of their games. They are consistently beating teams by huge amounts of margins, and I think that is really, really impressive to see. And I mean, you can't be any more excited than that, honestly.
No, absolutely not. They're off to a great start and look to continue to be that way, Lucas.
Yeah, no, 100%. But we're going to switch from the field now to the diamond. The Oswego baseball team hit the road Thursday for a 3-game series against the defending SUNYAC champion New Paltz Hawks and came up just short in a hard-fought 5-4 loss on Thursday. The Lakers struck first with 2 runs in the third inning, sparked by some aggressive base running. New Paltz answered with a run in the bottom of the half, taking advantage of a fielding error. After trading runs, Oswego pulled ahead 4-3 in the 6th on a pass ball, but the momentum shifted in the 7th when Dylan Restano crushed a 2-run homer to give New Paltz the lead. The Hawks bullpen shut the door with 3.2 innings of scoreless relief. Danielle Winchester led the Lakers offensively, going 3-for-4 with 2 runs scored, but a 9th-inning double play ended Oswego's rally attempt. So a tough loss for them. We're going to talk about their next games, or that game coming up, but for right now, just about the game that happened. Unfortunate for the Lakers, but you got to have the bats wake up.
You absolutely do. And this Lakers team, again, looking to get into those SUNYAC matchups. Alfred State is a good team. And, yeah, for Oswego, we mentioned it last episode that this team really needs to start getting the bats up and moving. And I think throughout the season, they just haven't really able to just connect on a lot of their shots, and they're just not able to get it done. But let's move ahead now to the other diamond, the softball diamond. The Lakers were slated for a doubleheader matchup against Clarkson. In the first match, it was all Golden Knights. They took the game 1, 13-2. But Oswego's looking to bounce back in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Clarkson would strike first with an RBI single in the top of the first. The Lakers would strike back in the same inning, notching 2 runs in the bottom of the first. The Lakers would have a great fourth inning, scoring 3 off an RBI triple from Lillian Haggerty. They held out this lead all the way into the top of the 7th and final inning. Clarkson had 2 cross the plate to make it a 1-run game, but Oswego was able to hold on and win 5-4 over the Golden Knights. The Lakers improved to 5-8 on the season. Now, Lucas, after a couple of rainouts, the Lakers are looking to get into conference play. But what a way to hold on and win for Oswego here.
I love the fact that in the first game, they obviously didn't have the best game, and then they decided, you know what, we're not going to let this affect us, and they came back even stronger, and they had a hard-fought victory, and you love to see it, and especially now with conference play coming right up, that is exactly what you want. You want to build that momentum, and I think now for them, they have a really, really strong case for it.
Absolutely. I mean, even a team like Clarkson, they had no errors in that matchup, and Oswego having 3, just out-hitting Clarkson. So I think, again, the amount of hits probably led to the win here, but being able to have 3 errors on your side of the field and still win when another team has 0, pretty
that's very
impressive.
If you're making mistakes and Clarkson isn't taking advantage of it, that's on Clarkson. So good win for Oswego to close it out.
Absolutely. But that's going to do it for our Laker recap here. We're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, wow, words are really hard tonight, Lucas. They really are hard tonight. We come back, it'll be time for the week ahead. Stick around, you're watching Laker Connections right here on WTOP-10.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris. That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts.
It's showtime, Chris.
Come on. I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No.
Spin the wheel. But you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
Welcome back into Season 23, Episode number 3 of Laker Connections, your only place for all things Laker sports. I'm Ken Gerard, co-hosted by the sweaty and laid-back Lucas.
I apologize. It is really, really hot in the studio right now.
It's roasting a little bit.
It is very hot. I overheat very easily.
I guess the school didn't turn on the AC
quite
yet.
Yeah, we haven't got any yet, so we're a little hot in here, but
we'll get there.
We'll make do.
We have discussed the past, Lucas, and it is time to talk about the future. We have a lot of action for Oswego athletics.
Very true.
And Lucas, well, let's discuss it.
Yeah.
Start off with what's going on for the baseball team.
Yeah, well, after falling 5-4 to New Paltz yesterday, the Oswego State Lakers have a chance to bounce back with a crucial SUNYAC doubleheader tomorrow at Lauren Campbell Memorial Field. Sitting at 12-7 overall and 4-3 in conference play, the Lakers will need strong performances on both sides of the ball to take down the defending champion. The Lakers currently lead the conference with a team ERA of 4.81, while the Hawks lead the conference with a team batting average of 3.48. The first game set for noon and the second at 3 p.m., Oswego has a prime opportunity to bounce back and make a statement in the conference standings, especially over the New Paltz Hawks, who are the defending champs.
Yeah, a couple of tough teams in this conference between Cortland and New Paltz up there. It would be a statement win for Oswego. Again, we were talking about how they need to get the bats up and going here. They have a decent team average. The ERA low is not bad. So, I mean, It's going to be quite a determining game in a weird way. It's early on in the conference play. Still, I mean, we're after spring break, but it's still early in the conference. Still got about a month and a little bit of change to get into these conference matchups. We'll see how the Lakers can foe against this team. I think a win here would be great for them. I think that they can really put their name towards the top of the list and make an early push into the SUNYAC playoffs. But let's switch it now on over to softball again. The Lakers will head up to Canton, but not to take on the Kangaroos. Rather, they set their sights on the St. Lawrence Saints. Game 1 will start at 12 p.m. with Game 2 slated for a 2 o'clock start, but anybody who knows baseball or softball knows that's probably not what's going to start.
Definitely not when it's
Definitely not. Oswego sitting at 5-8 looks to improve to 7-8 before taking on a SUNYAC opponent down in Mooresville. The Saints sit at 7-5 on the season. This series comes after their first Liberty League matchup of the season against the Clarkson Golden Knights. Rain has been an enemy of this Oswego team, with their last 4 matchups being rained out. This series is a makeup from March 29th, which was, of course, rained out. Lucas, with an exciting matchup for the Lakers, what are we looking for in this one?
I'm just really excited to see a very, very close game. I think both of these teams have a lot to offer when it comes to pitching and hitting, and I think when it comes down to it, this should be really, really competitive. Both of these teams aren't struggling, but they're right near the 500 mark. Oswego's slightly under, and St. Lawrence is slightly over. So for both teams, you have the different mindsets of Oswego's like, we've got to get that 500 point. You want to get there because that's where you start before you build up. St. Lawrence, you obviously want the opposite. You don't want to hit that 500 mark because you're already past it. So I think it's a very fun dynamic for both of these teams to be playing against each other now. And I think, like I said, it's going to be very, very competitive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so now, I'm sorry, instead of we're going from the diamond now back to the field, where we're going to take a look at Oswego State women's lacrosse team.
Clever.
Looks to stay perfect in SUNYAC play as they take on the Oneonta Red Dragons this Saturday. The Lakers enter the contest with a strong 7-2 record, 3-0 in the SUNYAC, while Oneonta sits at 3-7, 2-1 in the SUNYAC. Oswego boasts an impressive offensive attack, averaging 16.2 goals per game compared to Oneonta's 13.2. Oswego also clears Oneonta in goals against per game, holding teams to just over 7 goals a game, while the Red Dragons allow almost 14. With both teams fighting for postseason positioning, this matchup should be very, very interesting.
It got dark in here for a second.
It did get dark. I don't know what happened.
Well, again, we talk about this team being so dominant, and we've seen with that 7-2 record, 16.2 goals per game.
That's crazy.
And look at the shot on, and they're evenly matched up. This is an even matchup. I mean, Oneonta is still a very good squad. I think the record is a bit deceiving.
Yeah, they had a couple of really, really tough, but also close losses that could have gone either way. So their record doesn't exactly show their talent level. They are a solid team.
They are a solid team, and I think this will be a good one for Oswego. If they can pull away another victory here and move even farther into the SUNYAC, it's going to be a tough matchup coming up again. And Cortland just in their near view future, a tough team that they've never beat, so we will see. But let's move on to men's lacrosse now, as the Lakers will take on the Potsdam Bears this Saturday at home, which is their first home game of the entire season. The Lakers are currently undefeated in the SUNYAC, sitting at, 1-0. The Bears sit at also 1-0 in the SUNYAC. After a trouncing of the Canton Kangaroos by a final score 24-2, Potsdam comes in hot. This matchup is set to be a good one, an early SUNYAC matchup between these two squads. Potsdam comes in on fire. Now, Lucas, you think the Lakers can tame the flame and take down the Bears, or is this just a Potsdam team that's just too hot to handle for the Lakers?
So last year, the Oswego essentially had the same scenario against Potsdam. Potsdam was hot last year, and then they came to Laker Field, and Oswego beat them in overtime. I was on that call. It was so much fun to watch. This Lakers team is full of surprises, and I really think they can, I think you said, put out the fire, quench the fire, whatever you want to say.
Tame
the flame, sure.
I forgot what I said.
It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to call it, I do believe that they can, so yes, they can. And I 100% think that this is going to be a very, very good game. It was very low scoring last time, so I don't know if that's going to happen this time, because obviously Potsdam, they average a crazy goal scoring. But I think Oswego has a very, very solid defense that can tame this flame, like you said.
Absolutely. That's going to be all the time we have for our week ahead. We're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, oh my God, again, I did the same thing. When we come back, it'll be time for a new segment here at Laker Connections called Way Too Early Predictions. We'll see you on the back half of the break. Stick around.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
If you like action, romance,
If you're watching this,
and highbrow humor,
Surface is this. Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
there's only one place to turn. Tune in to new episodes of
oh boy!
only on WTOP.
Welcome back into season 23, episode number 3 of Laker Connections, your only place for all things Laker sports. I'm Kane Gerard, co-hosted by the large-hearted Lucas McGarry. I'm running out of things to say, Lucas.
You can reuse that.
No, you said I told you last time I got to change it every time.
Yeah, I guess so.
So here we are.
That's what you want to do.
There goes 3 more. So 3 more off the table. But now, Lucas, we can sit here and be sad and miss winter sports here in Oswego, or we can serve up some hot takes and make each other, and maybe some of those watching at home, also upset. We're doing something new here on Laker Connections. Me and Lucas are going to give our way too early season predictions for the 2025-26 winter season. Now, Lucas,
I didn't even originally know what you meant.
Well, now
when you first like were like, hey, this is what we're doing, I was like, huh? And then I was like, oh, you mean all the way
all
down.
of them. Lucas, let's start off with the 2025 SUNY champions, the men's ice hockey team.
So I think what's really funny is that last year they had 0 expectations because they had so many new players, and we didn't realize that Gosick was a recruiting wizard, and all of those guys that he picked up were going to be studs. So I think this year, Oswego is going to have a lot more to do, and I think they're going to have a lot more to prove. So I think we might see a slight, and I will say slight because, again, all of that talent is still going to be there. I think they're losing a couple of very good seniors, but other than that, they have plenty of guys that are filling in for them. And couple?
Only Daniel Kyle Buffo's gone.
Oh, that's right. Okay, perfect.
They're all coming back.
So then perfect. Then they're going to be slightly worse, I think, but because I think because of the talent they have, I think it's expected. I think teams are going to be taking them a lot more seriously than they did last year.
I think they're going to get better. I don't think.
I can see that happening too.
But here's what I mean when I say better. Hobart and Stevenson are coming into the SUNY next year.
That's gonna be tough.
don't think they repeat as SUNY championships. I think Hobart, the now 3-time national champion, is I would imagine is going to win the SUNY next year. I don't know. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. If anybody from Hobart for some weird reason happens to see this, I don't think you will. But if you do, then why leave? I don't want you here.
You can watch
That's
another,
not good.
You can watch another show.
Let's move on. Let's move on to the women's hockey team. Now, speaking of expectations, this team was just so close to being into the NCAA tournament, and they dropped that final game against Plattsburgh in the SUNY championship. In their second season ever in the SUNY, they get there, host the championship, and lose it. Their expectations, I think, may not be as high as the men's hockey team will be because of how many returners that the men's team will get. The women's team, though, is losing a lot of seniors, a lot of talent. I think they have a lot of young players who are still good, but losing Levy and some of these other talented players, it's going to be tough for them to recover from. But I think their expectation next year is at least an appearance in the SUNY championship. I think they can get there. I'm not sure if they'll win it or get into the NCAA tournament, but I think that their expectation is at least getting into that championship game next year.
No, I mean, without a doubt. Losing Levy is like losing an arm for that team. Whoever is goalie next year is going to have like the biggest shoes to fill. So that is going to be very, very tough for them because obviously Levy was just a stud. So I think for them, it's going to be a figuring out season.
Let's move from the frozen water over to the hardwood. Now tell me, the women's basketball team, what their expectations are going to be. Now they get into the playoffs. They win their first game at home as a 3 seed and then lose in the second round. So their expectations next year to me are a little flip-flopped. I mean, they are losing some players, but for the most part, I think this team still stays pretty well-rounded next year. I'm going to say A playoff appearance, I think, is at bare minimum what the expectation is going to be.
At this point, yes.
But I think they can maybe make a run and get a little bit deeper in the playoffs than they did this previous season.
No, 100%. They have been steadily improving every single year since at least that I've been here. When I got here, they were not the best team. They were pretty low in the SUNYAC standings, and then they finished third last year. That is very, very impressive to just see the steady growth. I still think the coaching needs to get a little better. That's just my personal opinion. But I think that they have plenty of talent. It's just whether or not that they use it correctly.
Now let's switch over from the women's team to the men's team. Now this men's team was in the NCAA playoffs for the last 2 years, and this year didn't even get a crack at it. Didn't even get to the SUNYAC championship. A huge fall from grace for this team. Now, again, we talked about all the seniors last year they were going to lose. I'm sure you guys enjoyed listening to Joyce and Mudd talk all about them last year on Laker Connections. And well, this year, we did not get grace to the same amount of success from the squad. So I think the expectation for this team is to make the playoffs at this point. I'm not quite sure where I stand with this team. Quickly, any thoughts?
I mean, honestly, I would just say exactly the same thing as you. It's just very, very disappointing to see where they are. And I think they needed Jeremiah Sparks a little bit more than they thought they would when he left, because he was a star and he really did do well for that team. And I think when they left, they didn't expect him to leave that big of a hole.
No, definitely not. It was a good season for this team, but I think Jason Leon's got a little bit of recruiting to do in this offseason.
He needs to work his recruiting magic and see what he can do.
Trust the process with this Lakers squad. We're going to go to another quick break. When we come back, we will have our Lakers showdown.
Sounds good.
We'll see you on the flip side of the break.
Yeah, we'll just take a break. We'll come back in a minute.
Yeah, we'll back. Bye.
Go!
Would you like to try snacks from faraway lands? Or snacks with bizarre flavors? How about snacks in new ways? Or snacks you've never tried before? You don't have to go far to find these snacks. They can all be found here at Snacks on West 1st Street.
Yeah, we're walking around campus, and what do we see? All these clubs are looking.
They're looking for me.
There's hockey.
There's improv.
So much to see. So let's go try them out and see how they be. Come on and please watch.
Our embarrassments free.
Tune in to Amateurs on WTOP.
Happy Friday, Lakers, and another beautiful day here in Oswego, New York. I'm DJ Don Perone, and I'm happy that you're starting your weekend off right listening to WNYO 88.9 FM, the Laker Radio Network.
I said, darling, can you see? There's no room for us. There's no room. Now our lives are tainted. Promises keep slipping. And I always knew it wasn't you. It wasn't you. Now our lives are tainted. Promises keep slipping. And I always knew it wasn't you. It wasn't you.
Welcome back into season 23, episode number 3 of Laker Connections, your home for everything Laker sports. And Lucas, it is I guess it's time. It's not really. I don't know if I'm excited about this. Mr. Michael Neckers is back. Our Laker Showdown moderator.
He keeps coming back. We don't really have anyone else to do his
Lucas,
job, unfortunately.
for those who don't know, please tell them what a
Laker Showdown is a showdown between two Lakers, me and Kenny. Michael, our moderator, will ask us a series of 3 questions, and it will be best 2 out of 3 style. Wow. Michael decides the winner of each question. Wow. And that will be it. Michael?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do here, guys. We've still got a lot of time left before the NFL season starts, but last week I asked about the Steelers, so this week I'm going to ask about the Giants. I need both of you to give me your record prediction for the 2025-26 Giants, and whoever is closer to my prediction will earn the point. Kenny, as the Giants fan, you're up first.
So, I mean, adding Mr. Unlimited.
What's your prediction,
And
Kenny?
adding Mr. Unlimited.
We're both at 0.
Adding Jameis Winston.
No one has scored a point yet.
Yeah,
guys.
we're at 0. Anyway, so with those additions, I don't think it makes Oswego. Sorry, I'm so on Oswego. I don't think it makes the Giants like a playoff contender or even a good team at that. I think they're just going to be fun garbage as opposed to just garbage as they were with Daniel Jones. I think it's just going to be like putting a tutu on a trash can. Like, it's going to be, oh, wow, that's pretty trash. It's lipstick on a pig. I think it's going to be.
Lipstick on a pig. I actually really like that.
5-12 for the Giants.
Lucas?
I'm going to go 3-14, just flat out.
I
don't see. I love Mr. Unlimited. You know, he was my quarterback last year, but the Giants just don't have enough talent right now.
I think 5-12.
I don't see them winning more than 3 games, and I also see them losing a couple of games that they 100% should win.
Oh, they absolutely.
That's why I only see them winning 3.
But
Those 3 games will be against teams that they shouldn't.
Time's up. Well, guys. As you know, I'm a pretty big Giants hater. Not as much as I hate Philly. Not a fan of Philly.
We can agree on only that.
Kenny, you're going to take this one. My prediction, I'm being a little generous here. 7-10 is my prediction.
Wow,
for the Giants.
really?
I think they're going to get more wins than people think
Never,
this year.
never make a football take.
All right, hey, enough out of you, or I'll make you lose again. Question 2. Other than Laker connections, what is the best OP on WTOP-10? Lucas, you're up first.
The best OP on WTOP-10 right now is obviously Shut the Chuck Up.
No, it's not.
Charlie, the producer,
We're gonna get some haters for saying no to this.
just scream. I heard him scream, but yeah, Shut the Chuck Up. It's just such a fun, loving show, and it has one of my favorite people out there, Chuck. So yeah, Shut the Chuck Up.
Where's the camera? Where's the camera? Where's the camera? I need a camera moved on me here. Here we go. I'm getting up. I'm fired up for this one. Here we go. The best show on WTOP-10. The DK Experience. I love that show. You thought I was going to say, oh, boy. Oh, boy, and it's not even close. Oh, boy, by a mile, and it ain't even close. You pick anybody else, you're wrong. No, you're wrong.
Sit down.
No, you're wrong.
Sit down, buddy.
No.
Sit down.
Fired up.
So, we've got a tough decision here.
Yeah, you do.
Do I let everyone at WTOP-10 hate me, or do I pick Lucas's answer? I hear Chuck in the back cheering for his show. But I'm going to give this one to Kenny, but he does not win yet because the final round I've decided today is worth 3 points.
Okay. Wow.
So, last but not least, this
you need a crutch to beat me. You need a crutch.
No. This question feels very fitting for the two of you and myself. Guys, who is the best sports commentator of all time in your eyes? Lucas, you're up first.
No, make Kenny go first.
No,
Lucas is first.
The teleprompter says you're up first.
No, I need a second.
The teleprompter says you're up first.
Michael Sterling of the Yankees. He's so good. Michael Sterling of the Yankees. He's been there forever. I don't even know why you guys are putting your thumbs on. You're a Mets fan. You have nothing to say.
Lucas, real quick, before we go to Kenny, can you impersonate a Michael Sterling call for me?
No, I can't.
Oh, God, no.
It is high. It is far. It is gone.
You heard it here first, folks. And Kenny, for
Sterling,
you.
he's fantastic.
Oh, this is so tough. There's so many good ones.
Joe Buck.
Don't say that name. Don't say that name here.
None of them. Oh man. See, because you took my answer. That was a good one.
Did I actually?
Yeah, that was Sterling's a good one.
Respect.
What's his name? The football. Oh, he's on Amazon Prime. I'm blanking so hard.
Yeah,
Amazon Prime.
I love that guy.
Don't help him. Don't help him.
Don't help me.
Don't help him. He's gonna get it.
It's not.
Got
Tom
a minute
Brady.
20 in program to get it. Don't say it, Aaron.
Aaron, help. Someone help. Oh, Al Michaels, thank you. Yeah, I thought of that myself. Yeah, Al Michaels. I love Al Michaels. I think he's very good.
Give me my 3 points now.
Yeah.
If I'm taking a crutch, I'll take the crutch.
You're going to take your crutch and get a crutch win.
He didn't even give an answer. I'll take the loss. That's fine. I don't need a crutch.
Well, gentlemen.
Give him the loss. It's 1 point. I think I still win.
I am a big fan of Al Michaels. Very good NFL commentator. But I'm going to have to go with Lucas on this one. So this week, Lucas.
I did not win. No, shake Kenny's hand. I did not
win. No, you won.
I did not win.
You won.
He beat me 2-1.
Look at the scoreboard. Look at the scoreboard.
I did not win.
Look at the scoreboard.
Chris, I did not win.
Look at the scoreboard. Can we put Lucas wins in the lower third?
This is a Mickey Mouse win.
No,
I'm not.
Lucas wins in the lower third.
No, I did not win. Kenny, I'm sorry.
With like 4 exclamation points.
With
like 4 exclamation points.
I'm not shaking your hand. I didn't.
No, my hand.
Oh yeah. Kenny won. Kenny won. I will accept that loss.
Lucas wins. Woo!
All right. That's enough of all that action. He took my answer. That was a good answer. That would have. Yeah. Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win. Thank you, everybody. It's all the time we have for tonight. We will see you guys in 1 week for episode number 4. Have a good night.
Good night.
Welcome into season 24, episode number 2 of Laker Connections. I am Kenny Gerard, co-hosted by my good friend, Lucas McGarry. And Lucas, before we get started, how we doing?
Oh, I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Me and the Oswego State swim team just had our media day. Got a lot of fantastic pictures.
We'll have to show that next episode.
Oh, they will be shown on the show.
I think I gotta lower my chair. I look so big. I look like large. I don't know. Whatever.
The pictures will be shown. Don't you worry.
Oh yeah, we will absolutely show those next episode. But now, Lucas, fall sports are starting to get into the late season.
Absolutely.
And winter sports are just around the corner. We have playoffs looming and some teams booming. And, well, soon enough, pucks will be flying and nets will be swishing. Lucas made fun of me for that. Let's talk about the fall sports that happened this past week to kick off this episode's Laker recap. Lucas, kick us off with men's soccer.
I did say it was a little silly. It was a fun play on words.
A little
I
goofy.
liked it.
Whatever, but fun,
yeah.
man.
So Oswego men's soccer returned home to Laker Turf Stadium and earned a big 5-2 win over SUNY Potsdam. After the Bears struck first, Oswego uncharacteristically answered back immediately with goals from Ian Husselbeck and Tajay Ellis to take a 2-1 lead into halftime. The Lakers kept rolling in the second, with Husselbeck adding another, followed by goals from Edis Omerovic and Marcus Baker. Goalie Kyle Rose made a key penalty save to steal the win. Oswego improves to 3-5-5 on the season and 2-2-2 in SUNYAC play. Kenny, with a big 5-goal win, I think it's safe to say that this might have been the Lakers' biggest win of the season, and they have all the momentum in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's 110% fair to say that is their best win. Now, what they do with this momentum is the next question, right? So now, do they continue to roll into their next game with a lot of momentum, come off a 5-goal win against Potsdam, go to what, 2-2-2?
Yeah,
they got what place are they in? I forget which place they're in.
They're right around the top. We'll get to it in the coming up. So they're like fourth, I think. Or
Sorry,
fifth,
I'm jumping the gun here.
We'll get to it. Don't you worry. But my favorite part of this game was they went down 1-0 and they didn't give up. They're usually, when they give up goals early, they kind of just flounder and try and survive, and they bounced back immediately with 2 goals, and then they rambled through and they got 3 more. Really impressive win.
Yeah, I mean, just staying on top of it, you get a lead, keep your foot in the gas, and just don't let up. And that's exactly
it was really
what they
good for them.
to do.
I'm impressed.
Absolutely. Well, the Oswego State women's soccer team earned a 3-1 road victory over SUNY Potsdam in SUNYAC play. Erica Yancey opened scoring early off a Kyla Sustad corner, then added a second goal later in the half with a header from Amber McDermott to give Oswego a 2-1 lead at halftime. Lauren O'Connell sealed it midway through the second half, tapping in a set piece from Sustad to make it 3-1. The Lakers controlled possession and shut down a late push from Potsdam to lock up the win. Oswego improves at 6-4-3 overall and 3-1-2 in SUNYAC play. Potsdam will fall to 8-4-2 overall and 2-3-1 in SUNYAC. The Lakers now sit at 4th in the conference, and Lucas, take me through this one and how the Lakers can keep climbing in the SUNYAC standings.
They just need to keep playing with the way they've been playing. They're having such a good season right now, and it's one of the best seasons I have seen here as a Laker myself. They have been a really, really strong team. Usually both of our soccer teams are more defensive heavy, and they struggle on offense, and this year it has been far from that. They're doing a really good job. They're averaging over 2 goals a game right now while limiting it to 1 or allowing just a little over 1. We'll get to that more in later. Obviously, we talk about our preview, but they have been so impressive, and I think a sweep for both teams, men and women, over Potsdam is exactly what they needed because they're both right on the cusp of playoff contention. The women's team way more in contention, men's team right there.
Absolutely.
But we're going to move on to another team, not soccer related, but the Oswego State field hockey team traveled to Rochester to take on Roberts Wesleyan Hawks, falling 2-0 in a hard-fought matchup. The Lakers held strong early behind goalkeeper Sam Krathine, who made 2 key saves in the opening quarter to keep things even at 0. Roberts Wesleyan finally broke through 3 minutes into the second when Julia Lukasic scored off a penalty shot to give the Hawks a 1-0 lead at halftime. Krathheim continued to battle, recording 3 more saves in the third quarter, but with just 30 seconds left in the frame, the Hawks struck again off a penalty corner to make it 2-0. Oswego couldn't generate any shots on goal, but Krathheim finished with 6 saves on 8 shots faced and another standout performance for the Lakers.
Yeah, and you got to say, it's when Oswego can actually get some conversions on offense and get some shots on net, they have a good chance to win games. It's just when they can't get down the field. And so far they've been. I feel like recently they've been better. They were very rocky at the beginning. They'd only scored like 3 goals in their first 7 games total. It was a very rough start, but they have gotten better. They picked up a couple of wins early on, and unfortunately for them, they did get shut out once again. But I think they just need to get back and get onto their winning ways again. Absolutely, and they got better at a time when it mattered, and that was in SUNYAC play.
100%.
But moving now to the hardwood, Junior Gigi Basile led the way for the Oswego volleyball with 9 kills and a strong .286 hitting percentage in a tough match against St. Lawrence. Gabriella Bishop added 6 kills and Kaylee Vuktavine chipped in 5 as the Lakers showed balance at the net. Maya Bush ran the offense with 18 assists and a kill, while Samantha Madigan added 9 assists and 2 digs. Defensively, Grace Donovan and Julia Santafimi each recorded 10 digs, with Basile and Vuktavine contributing 3 blocks, assists apiece. Despite hitting 119 as a team, Oswego fought hard and nearly forced a 4-set before falling 26-24 in the third. The Saints would sweep the Lakers 3-0 on the day, and the Lakers fall to 16-4 overall, but still remain at a perfect 4-0 in conference. The Saints moved to 12-7 overall and still sit at 1-3 in the Liberty League. Lucas, this is a tough loss for a very talented Lakers team, but they stay perfect in the SUNYAC. What do they have to do to keep that 0 in the loss column in the SUNYAC?
I really think that they have been doing their best play when they play those SUNYAC teams. Like you said, they're 4-0, and I think that they excel when they play these teams in these conference matchups. They're having one of their best seasons ever. It's plain and simple. 16-4, 4-0. I've never seen the volleyball team look this good before. They were very solid last year. They had some returning attackers who were really good. Callie Vugtwine's one of them that comes to mind, really stand out. Gigi Basile, another one. They have all of the weapons that they need to utilize. They just need to utilize them even more, and I think that they have a really, really strong shot at getting the SUNYAC title this year.
They've been phenomenal. We'll see if they can keep those winning ways.
Absolutely.
Well, Lucas, that's going to do it for our Laker recap. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, it'll be time for the week ahead. You're watching Laker Connections right here on WTOP-10.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between schools, kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris. That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts. It's showtime, Chris. Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No. Spin the wheel. Oh, you got censorship. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
Welcome back into Season 24, Episode number 2 of Laker Connections, your only place for all things Laker sports. I'm Kane Gerard, co-host by my good friend, Lucas McGarry.
Well, hello.
Did you get your text out of the way?
I did, yeah. I'm all set.
Okay,
Thank you.
Now, Lucas, as we have mentioned before, fall sports are getting closer and closer to playoff season. SUNYAC play is well underway, and we are rapidly approaching the end of the fall sports season. Before we get there, though, Lucas, let's talk about what's to come for these teams and start us off with men's soccer.
No more skates on the ice and nets in the hoop.
I'm not that good.
Not on the
not that good.
Well, the Oswego State Lakers men's soccer team.
Oh yeah, there you go, buddy.
There we go. Team hits the road for a key SUNYAC matchup against the Plattsburgh Cardinals. Oswego enters at 3-5-5 overall and a 2-2-2 conference play record, while Plattsburgh sits at 8-2-4 and 3-2-1 in the SUNYAC. Another fun one. The Cardinals rank 4th in the conference and boast one of the league's stingiest defenses, allowing just a .86 goals per game while also netting a 1.5 goals per game. Oswego, meanwhile, sits 7th, just outside the playoff picture. With only the top 6 teams advancing, the Lakers' defense has kept them competitive, allowing just 1.31 goals per game, but their offense averaging 1 goal per game will need to step up against a tough Plattsburgh back line. With 3 conference games left on the schedule, this matchup could be a turning point in Oswego's push for a postseason spot. They're right there.
They are right there. And yeah, I mean, just purely looking on the stats, they look like the favorites on one half and they don't look like favorites on another. Plattsburgh clearly better in keeping goals out of the net.
Oswego, really good defensive team so far, super solid. And Oswego, they have the keys, they have the weapons. It's just they're not getting them in the right spots, and it just seems like they still haven't fully found what they need to do. They keep getting good wins. They've had a really couple of good games, but they just still haven't exactly found what they need to do to get the big wins.
Absolutely. Well, Oswego heads into Saturday's home matchup against Plattsburgh with momentum on their side. The Lakers entered the game with a team average of 12 goals, 100 shots, and a .120 shot on goal rate, while Plattsburgh comes in with 17 goals on 150 shots and a .113 shooting efficiency. Oswego has shown balance in the attack and defensive stability in recent matchups, and they look to contain Plattsburgh's top scorer, Sydney Myers, who led her team with 5 goals. The Lakers will rely on their strong corner and shot on goal numbers to create chances, while Plattsburgh will try to push the pace with their high shot volume. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. at Laker Turf Stadium. The Lakers sit at 4th, and the Cardinals sit at 3rd in the SUNYAC. Lucas, it's another classic Oswego-Plattsburgh rivalry matchup. What does each team need to do to be successful in this one?
I mean, Oswego and Plattsburgh, it expands to all the sports. Who knew it could happen? And this is a really fantastic game. I mean, look at the stats. This is a really fun game on paper. Plattsburgh, they've been super solid all year. The record, their official record doesn't say, but that SUNYAC record speaks it all. 4-1-1. They're very solid when it counts in conference play. And Oswego, doing a really good job this year. 6-4-3 is a very, very solid record. And averaging over 2 goals a game is very impressive, especially coming from a team that we have basically never seen them do that. So for them to be able to score 2 goals a game, I think that's very impressive. And they, I think, are doing what they need to be doing to getting those big wins. And I think is a really good chance that they pull out the win here this weekend.
Absolutely.
But we're going to keep moving on. Stay to the other field sports. Field hockey. Oswego State field hockey team gets set for a late season SUNYAC matchup against the Cortland Red Dragons. The Lakers come in at 4-10 overall and 0-3 in conference play, while Cortland sits at 4-9 and 1-2 in the SUNYAC. Both teams have struggled to find consistency this season, but this matchup presents a big opportunity for each to grab a much-needed win. Oswego averages just a half goal per game, while Cortland's offense has been slightly stronger at 1.3 goals. On defense, both sides have had their challenges, with the Lakers allowing 2.57 goals per game compared to Cortland's 1.88. Oswego currently sits last in the conference, while Cortland holds the 4th spot, making this a crucial chance for the Lakers to finish the season strong and build momentum.
Yeah, simply put, they got to score goals, right? So, I mean, they got to pick it up on that end of the field. They got to score some more goals. I mean, defensively, they really haven't been all that bad, all things considered. So they've been doing a lot better in conference play. They've had a lot of closer matchups. It'll be interesting to see what they can do in this one, though.
On defense, they're really good. They have Krauthan, who's in goal, who's an absolute stud. She just doesn't get a break a lot of the time. And when the team is on defense for 90% of the game, Krauthan's going to let a couple of things slip. She needs a break at some point, and their offense needs to be able to help her. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. Well, Oswego hits the road to take on Buffalo State this weekend. The Lakers come in at a perfect 4-0 SUNYAC record with a .189 team hitting percentage, 11.7 kills per set, and a robust block game with 157 block assists. Buffalo State, on the other hand, is 1-2 in conference with a .152 hitting percentage, averaging about 11 kills per set and 1.35 blocks per set. Oswego looked to leverage its balanced attack and strong defense to break down the Bengals. Buffalo State will need to limit errors and keep pressure on the Lakers to stay in this one. Lucas, this is yet another big matchup on this long Lakers road trip. What will they need to do to stay perfect in conference?
Like I already said before, just keep doing what you're doing. Feed those attackers. Feed the players that have been giving you success all season, and especially against a Buffalo State team who isn't the best. You see the stats there. They're only averaging 11 kills, which is slightly less than Oswego. They're good on the kills, but I think record speaks for itself, and Oswego has, plain and simple, has a much better defense than they do, and I think that's what it comes down to when you have 2 good attacking teams. And Oswego has really solid defense. They get a ton of digs, they get a ton of blocks every single game, and I think that they can pull this one out and get another big conference win.
It's going to be a fun one. That
Absolutely.
is for sure. But we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, it'll be time for, oh boy, the Wheelhouse Wire is back. Stick around. You're watching Laker Connections right here on WTOP-10.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
like action, romance,
if you're watching this,
and highbrow humor,
Surface is this? Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
there's only one place to turn.
No!
Tune in to new episodes of
Oh boy!
only on WTOP.
Welcome back into season 24, episode number 2, Laker Connections, your only place for all things Laker sports. I'm Kenny. That's Lucas. I think I've said that enough times that they know who we are.
You keep introducing us. I definitely think they know who we are.
I hope so at this point.
Me too.
Well, Lucas, it feels like just yesterday we were talking about how the Oswego State Lakers men's hockey team won the SUNYAC championship. And now the preseason games have arrived. It is once again time for the Wheelhouse Wire, where me and Lucas will discuss all things Laker hockey. And Lucas, it's time for us to talk about what's coming up this weekend in Laker hockey, so start us off with the women's team.
Absolutely. The Oswego State women's ice hockey team is set to begin a brand new season, carrying the weight of high expectations after their most successful campaign in program history. The Lakers are coming off a remarkable 22-5-2 season, including an impressive 15-1-2 record in SUNYAC play. Unfortunately, their dominant run ended just short of a conference title as they fell in the SUNYAC finals to Plattsburgh. Despite their success, Oswego was left out of the NCAA tournament field, a disappointing snub that fueled their offseason motivation. This year marks a new chapter for a program that's still relatively young, but will look to rise quickly through the SUNYAC ranks. There's plenty of excitement, but also a few question marks heading into the season. The biggest change comes in goal, with standout goaltender Lexi Levy no longer anchoring the crease after a stellar run that helped lead Oswego's defense to one of the best goals against averages in the nation at just 1.1 goals per game. Her departure leaves big skates to fill, and the pressure will be on a new crop of players to maintain that same defensive standard while keeping the offense rolling, which averaged 3.1 goals per game last season. The Lakers will open their 2024-25 season, or 25-26 season, at home this Saturday in a truly unique matchup against St. John Fisher University. This won't just be a season opener for the Oswego, but for St. John Fisher, women's hockey program that makes this what makes this matchup so unpredictable, as this is their first game ever for St. John Fisher, and we'll talk about it in a minute with the men's. Both teams never having a game in the history of their programs, and as you can see, like we say right there, first season 3. So I think what that means for both teams is a lot of unknowns for both of these opponents.
Man, you wrote an essay on
Hey man, you said you wrote a minute for your men's hockey, so I was like, I'll fill up the women's.
Well, that was a good reader, man. You didn't leave me any time to talk, but
I'm sorry. I wrote mine, and then you go ahead.
I'll quickly just touch on what I think. Yeah, no, it was a good season. It sucks that it ended the way it did, but this team will be able to bounce back. Now I feel like we're talking about the men's team last year. They have a lot of new players, right, and a lot of gaps that are now created. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do to exactly rebound from losing so many players. But I mean, a team that goes to the SUNYAC championship, their first season in the SUNYAC, I mean, come on.
And I also have to talk about the fact that they got snubbed from the national tournament, which we fully agree on. They got snubbed.
Don't fire me up. Don't fire me up right now.
Yeah. But it's very unfortunate. We can move on to the men's team. I'm excited for this women's team. I think that they can do a repeat and maybe even go all the way through.
Okay. Great job, Lucas.
Thank you.
The Lakers finally broke the championship ice and won their first SUNYAC championship in 11 years. After a disappointing first-round exit to the tournament first-timers, the Trine Thunder, the Lakers look to repeat in a revamped SUNYAC division. Hobart, the three-peat national champions, and Skidmore have joined the division. The Lakers will have a tall task to repeat as champions, but with the young roster becoming more experienced and a couple of solid new additions, the Lakers' hopes are high. On the other side of the ice, this Saturday will be a preseason matchup between the Oswego State Lakers and the St. John Fisher Cardinals. This is the Cardinals' inaugural season. So I and everybody else have absolutely no idea what to expect in this one. This is the Cards' first ever game. They've never played before. And it will happen Saturday at 7 p.m. in the Deb. And yes, coverage is provided by WTOP-10.
Oh, yeah.
Lucas, this is going to be an interesting one. A reigning champ against a rookie squad. What does each side need to claim victory in this one? And as I had said, I'll talk a little more. I don't know what to expect. I mean, you have a team that comes fresh off of a championship to a team that is fresh on the ice and has brand new jerseys printed in probably the last couple months. So I'm excited to see how this one goes. It'll be an interesting one for sure.
This is like legitimately a textbook trap game right off the bat for Oswego.
Tough
now,
call.
is that going to be the case? I don't think so. But the writing is on the wall for something like that to happen. This team that no one is or not that they've ever heard of, but they've never been on the ice before. Who knows? They could be phenomenal. They could have had the greatest recruiting class of all. Like you said, we have no idea.
Not a clue.
So we're going to see, and I'm really excited for it. They could suck, for all we know. But they could also be phenomenal, and I think that's what I'm so excited about.
There's one thing for sure. It's going to be fun because, again, I have no expectations. No one has any expectations of the St. John Fisher team.
Yeah.
We'll see. It'll be cool.
We will
but
see.
We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, it'll be time for the Lakers Showdown. You're watching Laker Connections right here on WTOP-10.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris. That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts. It's showtime, Chris. Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No. Spin the wheel. Oh, you got censorship. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
Welcome back into the second episode of Season 24 of Laker Connections, your home for everything Laker sports. And Lucas, it is time to welcome our Laker Showdown moderator, Mr. Michael Neckers. Now, Mike, want to explain to everybody at home what a Laker Showdown is?
Gentlemen, always a pleasure to be here. Laker Showdown is exactly as it sounds, a showdown between two of the best Laker sports minds this school has to offer. I hate that you make me say that every week.
Because
I will give you guys 3 questions, and whatever answer I like the most for each of those 3 questions will be rewarded a point. It will be best 2 out of 3, and the winner gets bragging rights until next week when we do this all over again.
Okay.
First question for you. What was your biggest heartbreak as an Oswego sports fan? Kenny, you're up first.
Oh, man, it's got to be when me and Spizak was no longer here. He's not dead. He's just not at Oswego anymore. We called that Plattsburgh game in the playoffs, and we had the chance to host the championship because Geneseo had lost, so we would have hosted Cortland or something of that nature, and then Oswego lost in overtime. So calling that game was definitely my...
What year was that?
2020.
What year was it for your freshman year?
My sophomore year.
So my freshman year when Oswego lost, that was probably the worst one for me.
That was a tough one, too.
Because I was in the crowd.
So was I
watching
that
game.
one, yeah.
So I was in the crowd watching that game.
I had a green beard the whole night. It was St. Patrick's Day.
Was the swim team speedoed for that game?
You were.
So I was there in a Speedo, and I got in freaking Speedo just for us to lose. So unfortunately, that sucked for me. I was really disappointed, especially as a freshman. I was like, oh yeah, hockey's the awesome, best sport, and then they lost. And I was like,
yeah, that one also sucked, but I think being on the mic and like not trying to like crash out, but the fact that we just choked in overtime, I was like, oh my God. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with, I think that one's my worst though.
Yeah.
So men's hockey losses for both of you. I wasn't here for that one. That was before my time. So I'm gonna go with the women's hockey team losing the championship last year for mine.
Neither of
But
us.
Kenny, I'm
Good
gonna
thing
pick
you
your
weren't
answer
playing now.
just because you were on the call for that game and had to
that's
keep
fair.
your composure.
That
So
sucked.
Kenny's gonna take the first one.
That sucked really
They
bad.
lost.
We're gonna
It's
stick with
okay.
hockey. With the season just 2 days away, what is your go-to snack from the Power Play Cafe in the Deb? Lucas, you're up first.
I always get a cheeseburger and fries.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's super
No,
simple.
that's what I get too.
It's super
You took my
simple,
answer.
but it's so good. It's easy. I am not a big fan of whatever that other thing they do is.
Poutine?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Never
Oh my gosh.
Never been a poutine fan, so you see me at the Power Play Cafe, you will see a burger and fries and maybe a Coke or something.
Yeah.
But and ketchup, obviously, but yeah.
Well, I can't say the same answer as he did.
Don't say
because
poutine.
That was it. And I'm just going to say,
Not
what else do
poutine.
they have? I don't get any other than cheeseburger and
Candy.
fries. Oh, we'll just say popcorn chicken because I don't like poutine. And I
Yeah.
know it'll lose me a point, but I don't care. I guess I'll go popcorn chicken because I had it once, but
You also get the same thing. I didn't even know that.
yeah, I always get the burger and fries.
It's so good.
Every time.
It's so
There
good,
is a
it
clip
works.
of me when I was calling a game last year that you guys put on a replay of me eating a cheeseburger and it was in the melt of the game. So yes, that is my favorite snack, but I will just say for the sake of the game, popcorn chicken.
Well, for the record, you're both wrong. I shouldn't give either of you a point because the answer is poutine.
No,
it
it's
is
not.
so good.
It's not.
Popcorn chicken by itself, I think it's way too dry. Lucas, you're gonna get the point here. I love a cheeseburger and fries, but
It must be a 5-1. It must be a 518 thing that we don't like it.
It must be.
It's got to be what it is.
It's got to be.
I love the
the
poutine
cooler.
and the Deb. I don't think you can beat it. All right, last question. With both of you
What do you
being
got?
on TV right now, working a lot on television, who would you pick to play you in a movie about your life? Kenny, you're up
Can
first.
we answer for each other?
I actually like that.
I don't know.
Kenny,
Can
pick
we
for
answer-
Lucas.
No, go for me first because I have no
Lucas,
idea.
go
I
for
didn't
it.
think that hard ahead.
Have you ever watched Austin Powers?
Yes.
The second movie. The big guy.
Oh, I hate you so much.
I don't even want to say his name because I don't think I can say his name on air, but it's Fat something.
Yeah, no, I know who you're talking about. I know it. Now I'm just going to stay on the same movie. I'd make you Austin, baby. I would rather make you Austin Powers than if
Hold on, let me look him
we're
up.
sticking on the Austin Powers train. I don't think you look that
Kenny
far.
Here's Kenny right
Yeah, you
here.
can't say that name, unfortunately.
No,
No, you
but
can't.
the image is here. That's Kenny.
All right.
And
I
Kenny,
mean, do we not think that this is that far off from Lucas McGarry?
No, it's not
I think
me.
it's pretty
That's
good.
not me.
I think that might be Lucas
I don't think
McGarry.
that's me. I disagree.
You don't think he can pull out the baby? I don't know. I just
Both played by the same character.
Lucas, can you try the baby?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to.
All right, then Kenny wins.
Yay!
You had your chance. You could have done it.
That's not.
You could have done it.
You could have done
That's
it.
not fair.
You could have done it.
But you didn't.
Oh.
Now Kenny wins.
Oh no.
Did you win last week too?
No, I think I lost last week.
I don't even remember.
I don't remember either.
Everything just meshes together at this point.
Well, I got bragging rights until next week.
Until next week.
Guess that's good. Fellas, any closing thoughts while we have a couple seconds here about
Actually, let's check the Steelers score while we're.
Women's hockey was snubbed last year.
I
I said it
agree.
last week. I'll say it
Hardly
every week
agree.
until they make it.
Steelers are losing. They suck.
Steelers are losing.
Yeah,
Go
I was-
Bengals. Alex Brummer.
I think they were snubbed too.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Hey, go Giants! Giants beat the Eagles.
I'm getting texts saying that my take on poutine was bad, and I'm disagreeing.
Oh well, it's what it is.
What's
Well,
Chris
thank
saying?
you for
What's
joining
Chris
us
saying? Wrap
for
it
the
up
second
for us.
episode
What
of
does he
season
think he
24 of Laker Connections. We will see you next week for season 24, episode number 3. Good night.
Let's hear that buzz.
Oh no! Just do down the middle.
Chris, how long?
No, don't do it down the middle.
Yeah, he's at it. He's at it. Joe, get a cut of this.
Oh no!
Well, that's where we last left off. Me and Chris getting our hair buzzed while I'm holding on to an inflatable horse. What a pity.